All right, so let's do the second part here. First, we talked about all the Origins stuff that's coming out. Now let's talk about something that I absolutely am looking forward to. Let's talk about the Masterverse side of this huge release. Let's do that. So maybe if you just started finding my videos, chances are you don't know this, but Masterverse, that's the line that I like the most. It's kind of weird because most every single one of my videos are unboxing and discussions of the Origins line. I don't know why that keeps happening. I had this weird thing where I got a bunch of Origins stuff and I kept saying, I'm going to open up all the Origins stuff, then I'll open up the Masterverse and talk about it. And every time I get caught up, I end up with a new Origins figure and then I end up talking about that instead of moving on to the Masterverse. I don't know why that keeps happening, but in all honesty, the figures that I like are the Masterverse. I think they are absolutely fantastic. And so with a big release like this, I was really happy to see that Masterverse got like 13 figures that are coming out. And yes, that's perfect because my budget has kind of fallen into a way where it's been kind of like buy a decent figure once a month. And so if that pans out correctly, even sticking on my normal budget without taking into account that I might get extra money here and there from overtime, that works out that I could pick up this entire line if I space out correctly and actually buy things carefully. I could do this. I could finish this Masterverse line. Let's look at the Masterverse that's being released because yes to so much of this. Let's do it. Okay, so here we go. On with the Masterverse, and the first thing we're going to look at is holy crap, New Eternia Deluxe Clawful. Look at this guy. Holy crap, this is good. This is so fantastic. Like, he is really good. I like his feet. I like his giant claw. I don't mind his armor piece. I like his face. That's very menacing. He has the little claw as well where he's holding a crazy mace. Here's him without his armor pieces. And you know what? He looks every bit as badass without those armor pieces as he does with them. In fact, you could argue as to which way you prefer him. I personally have a way that I like this guy, and I'll talk about that. But this guy is fantastic. He is always, from the very beginning when I started seeing these, this guy's been one of my all-time favorites. I just think he looks so cool. So here he is with his stuff, right? Personally for me, if I'm going to go with a way to set this guy up, I want Clawful with this armor piece right here. This thing on his back. That's what I want. That's the part that I like the most, is that he has these spike things that are coming out of his back. He just looks so cool like that. So that's the one that I'm wanting the most. Now, I noticed that if you do that, it puts this little thing right here on his neck. So I don't know if this is kind of required to kind of edge that out and make it look right, and it would look awkward if you don't have that. I don't know, because right there, we don't see him with it. And then when he finally does put those back things on, he's turned around. So I don't know if that's strategic picture taking, where they're like, check it out, that is a really cool part. And then they're not showing you the fact that you kind of need that armor to edge it out or it looks kind of weird. I don't know. And I won't know until I have one in my hands. But so far, this guy, absolute buy, money down, put your money down. He's fantastic. This guy is awesome. Like, he is really severely cool. And I love all that texture he's got. All these bumps and things. Oh, man. He's fantastic. He's amazing. He really is. Okay, we'll move on from him to talk about Deluxe Ram Man, because once again, he is fantastic. Like, oh my God, 2 back-to-back right off the bat on the Masterverse. This guy is awesome. I like his tiny axe. And by the way, this is the version I like. This is what I think he should be. When Masterverse showcases him, I don't get the idea that he's this little midget thing, like the goofiness that they did with both the toy and the filmation. I like this right here. This, he's Juggernaut. He's basically the Juggernaut. And he's running at you and everything like that, and he's got his head, and he's all built for war and everything. He should be like a tank. If he is a little smaller than the other Masterverse figures, that's fine. Personally, I think he should be a little bigger. I think they should play him off as a tank, as a Juggernaut. But if you don't do that, if he's a smaller guy with this angry little hatchet and he's just mean and crazy and he's coming at you and everything, that's fine too. So they have a filmation look right here. But you could also put the armor on him and give him the other head where it's all closed in, very much like a Juggernaut. Like I was saying, that's more of a filmation look. But you could go for this type of thing right here. Just by switching the helmet, it makes him a lot more menacing. And putting everything on him, there he is. He's a straight up warrior. He's a tank. Good luck getting through him. This guy right here, once again, a buy. He's an absolute beast. Okay. Web store. Guess what? Absolute buy. He's a buy. First off, his face is fantastic. His face is fantastic. The blue is really sharp. If that's the kind of color we're going to get, I'm 100% on board for that. The rest of him is fairly standard, but I like his back with like the legs, kind of like the Iron Spider suit type of thing. I like that. I also like that he has the grapple gun so he can swing around and it has the rope and everything like that. I like that he has the demon feet things like Skeletor, the monster feet. This guy's awesome. If I had something to say, I wish they would have went out of their way to make the leg things on his back bigger. Because right there, they're there, but they're more decoration. It's not like he's going to be fighting with them. Like, if you tried to grapple him, maybe they could sting you or something, but, like, they're really just kind of, like, there. And I wish they were a little longer so they could reach out and kind of, like, attack people, you know what I mean? While at the same time he's using the grapple gun to swing around or something like that. Kind of like, I feel like they could have utilized this guy to be kind of like a Spider-Man. Like, that just works for me. That would be really cool if he was like a Spider-Man, like an evil Eternian Spider-Man thing. But all in all, even with my problems, this guy's fantastic. He's a buy. Guys, we're getting Prince Adam. Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, Prince Adam. Guys, he has a sparkly sword, which is fantastic. He's skinny, which is exactly what we need. We need a skinny, different kind of Prince Adam. He also has the normal power sword, which is a really good one, by the way. I hope we get that color. That looks really sharp. He has a hey yeah face, so he's hey yeah. That's fantastic. I love that. There he is. Look, he actually can look kind of cool, too. But he's got that look about him where he's somewhat nonchalant. He's a little bit serious, but he's got a bit of a nonchalant thing to him, right? While at the same time, he's got that happy-go-lucky. He's just trying to live some life. He's trying to be happy and live some life, right? Which is fine because that matches the personality that he has. Especially at the beginning, you imagine, before he got his powers and whatnot. That's probably part of what his personality was really like, which is what led the king to, to just think that he'd never really grown up because he'd basically watched that personality his whole life. And we've seen hits of this before, too, when he's talking to Tila and everything like that. I really like this a lot. This guy, absolute buy. Absolute 100% buy. And since I recently put a Cringer on my shelf, now he's an absolute 100% without a doubt buy because he's got to hang out with Cringer. Okay, we have a Horde Skeletor. This guy's cool looking. I like that his Havoc Staff is that blood red with that wash on it that's pretty solid. His face is really cool. He's got the black hood this time, and then he's got the cloak that goes over him, and then he's got like this guy's really cool. Horde Skeletor looks awesome. I am curious as to what point this is from. Like when he was serving Hordak before he betrayed him, or if this is more taken off a comic book variant, like when I was reading the DC comics not way too long ago. Either way, this is really cool. This is really solid, and I'm going to really like having this. And even his armor piece, with all that extra red and everything, this guy's fantastic. Once again, an absolute buy. Clamp Champ, baby. Yes, this guy's also a buy. I need him. I need him because he has to hang out with his buddy Fisto, and he is kind of cool. I don't like him in Origins. I really don't. But here, when he's got like the normal body, and there's something about the way Masterverse brings everything better. I do. I don't know if it's their size that kind of brings out little details that I like about them, or the fact that their bodies are more realistic. So I kind of get more feel for the character than the exaggerated body forms, like the smaller, super bulky guys. I don't know. I like this. I like this a lot. That's right, man. Show it off, buddy. You earned them guns. Show them off. This guy's sweet. I like this guy. Now, he's the personal guard. At least in the mini comics, he was the personal guard to King Randor, which is pretty cool. So he's one of the best fighters on Eternia, specifically charged with keeping the king safe, and I thought that was really cool. So this guy's awesome, and I really like that face sculpt. I really think they captured something good there. This guy's awesome. This guy looks tough. Like, legit looks tough. He looks like you don't mess with this guy. And I love that about him. He's kind of stern. He's serious. He ain't taking no bullshit. Like, this guy's really solid looking. I like him a lot. Guys, yes, we get a new Eternia Faker. This Faker is very much the one people wanted. I like the robot Faker, okay? I do. I'm a Revelation fan, and I really liked seeing the robot Faker. But a lot of people were kind of mad about it and wanted this specific Faker. This is what they wanted, was their blue-skinned He-Man. And you know what? Here he is. And he does look really cool. He does look really cool. This is a pretty sweet figure right here. And you know something? For me, this is just He-Man, and he's blue, and he's using a variant of what looks like the new head sculpt that they created for the anniversary He-Man, but a little bit different. And I really appreciate that. I really think that is an absolute solid look right there. But you know what I'm really liking? His weapons. That's a sword of a power sword. But it's not. It's very much like put together from scraps and like it almost looks mechanical. And then his axe is the same thing. And his axe is actually missing like a chunk out of it, where you could see that it's two different materials. So here was this whole thing that he basically put together, and then it must have broke, and he kind of clipped this extra piece on right here. That's really cool. And if you look at the power sword, all up and down this area right here, there's like plates and everything and little areas because it's mechanical. It's like put together. I like this. I love this. And I love that they gave him that little thing right there on his chest. This guy's fantastic. This guy also is an absolute must-buy. Damn, they just want all my money this run. They do. Guys, buzz off. New Eternian, buzz off. New Eternia, buzz off. Holy crap. This guy looks seriously cool. And if you'll remember, and I don't remember what video it was, so maybe you don't remember, to be fair, but I was talking about some of this stuff before. And I specifically said, I don't like B-Man. I don't like B-Man. I didn't like the way he sounded in the Filmation when I watched it. And when I saw the figure, I was not sold on him because I really didn't like the face sculpt. Thought he was goofy. This guy, I want. And I think it comes down to exactly what I was talking about. Look at that. That helmet and everything is really cool. The B-wings and everything, the kind of mechanical-esque B-wings are really cool. His body, now not being this, little tiny bulky thing, to me, looks really cool. He looks better in Masterverse than he's ever looked before. I like his armor thing right here. This belt buckle thing here. I like his normal face even. So if I buy one of these, and I will, this guy's another absolute buy, but when I buy him, this is it. This is my buzz off right here. This is the one I want, the one with the armor. I won't be double dipping. I don't need this one and this one. I need this one. This is the one that catches my attention. He's really cool. I like him a lot. And yeah, I'd probably give him that axe. If I'm doing all this, yeah, he's really sweet. He's really, really cool. I really like this. And I'm noticing the claws. They're articulated. I think they actually open and close. I think he has a point of articulation on the claws, so we'll be able to grip things, open things, kind of like, coming at you or whatever. And I think we can kind of see that right there. They're open a bit, and I think they can kind of close up more. See, it's right in here. If you're looking right there, there's an area where it's got like a little thing. It's articulated. He can open and close that hand. That's fantastic. Grizzlor. Once again, absolute buy. I like this Grizzlor, and I have a Grizzlor coming, okay, for the Origins stuff, but this guy right here, I think I like him more. I think the fuzziness works better because it is big and fuzzy, but he's big, so it looks a little better on him. I like his hands right here, too. I don't know if that's an effect I've been missing on some of the others, but I notice he has the 4 instead of the 5. I think that's cool. I think that's a monster effect that I really like. I like his boots. I like his whole thing here, the whole fuzzy Grizzlor dude with the lion mane thing. I think he's fantastic. I like his Horde axe. This guy's amazing. He's really cool. And if I get one, nope. I want him with all his stuff. Arrow or axe when I choose to display him. I think axe. I think I like this right here, where he's got the axe and he's kind of coming forward and he's very bestial. I also don't mind him without a weapon at all. And maybe if the axe is on his back, that isn't terrible either. Or maybe since this clips to his hand, I wouldn't mind a variant where he has it on his hand right here, and then his hand is the open hand, and so then he could be pointing it out to shoot, while he's also taking a down, got all of his core engaged and whatnot. He's kind of huddled down, and he's got the axe up and everything, so if something comes at him, he's ready to fight. So maybe I'll do all his weapons, and I want all his armor on him, without a doubt. He has to wear everything. He's too cool. He's too fantastic. And the last guy, in terms of this site, Merman. When I saw Merman in the Masterverse line, I said to myself, I'll buy him, maybe. I said that. And as of yet, I have yet to put my money down and actually buy one. I've had a couple of opportunities, and I've said maybe I'll give him what's left over from the armor pack for Faker, like the armor I don't use. Maybe I'll give him that, and then it'll look cool or whatever. But like, this right here is what Merman should have been day one. It's what he should have been day one. And by the way, Revolution Masterverse Classic Merman. I have a question about this. You know we're getting New Eternia? This says Classic. Are we about to engage? Is this guy the start of another line? Kind of like we have Princess of Power. We have the Sunman line. We have Revelation. New Eternia. Are we about to get Classic? And then variants in the Masterverse of the classic design of said figures are about to be released? Because if that's the case, I'm 100% on board for that. And so far, technically, we would have two of them. Because we have He-Man, which released in the Anniversary Collection, and he's pretty much, you're not going to get better than that. Personally, I don't think so. He's amazing. And then you have Merman that would follow that up. And technically, the Beastman New Eternia could be reverted to be classic, but you get what I'm saying. This doesn't say New Eternia, is what I'm telling you. He's not New Eternia. He says classic, and I can't help but wonder, does that mean we're about to get a whole new extra wave of guys that are labeled as classic? Because I wouldn't hate that idea. Because, see, look, Buzz-Off right here is New Eternia. He's from the New Eternia line. You could pretty much revert him, see, because the idea for New Eternia guys is that they're like this. They have all that armor and everything, and they look a certain way. Usually hearkening back to their concept art, or a type of concept thing. But then you can revert them to kind of be what they are right here. In fact, if I'm going down the line here, just to kind of point out what I'm talking about, Zodak is one of those guys. But this guy makes it the easiest to talk about. Beastman. Beastman with all of his armor and stuff is this new cool Beastman. And he's not wearing all of his stuff right now. But you could take this stuff off of him and revert him back to this old Beastman. That's very much the original classic Beastman right there. You got him. So you got this, or you could do this. And the Skeletor personally is one of the best ever. This right here, I bought him twice because that's really cool, and I thought that was really cool, and I liked that a lot. But that right there is amazing. That is a hardcore, awesome, classic Skeletor with this cape and everything. I really dig this. That is one of the ways I have him on my shelf. And that is one of the ways I have him on my shelf. Because I liked them both so much that I didn't want to display him one way. I wanted to display him both ways. And that's what I'm getting at. Now, there were a couple that did not appear on this because I think they are exclusive to like Target or something. So let's talk about them before we close out. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at this picture real quick. So on this picture, what we didn't see in terms of Big Bad Toy Store is not selling oversized Whiplash, which, by the way, is fantastic. He's really cool, and I'm really interested in him. I am, 100%. He's really cool. Deluxe Slush Head. I don't care. I don't really know much about him. I don't really intend to know much about him. And for what it's worth, I don't care. I don't care. Sorry that I don't care. But the New Adventure Skeletor. You know what, Masterverse? Gotta hand it to you, man. I gotta hand it to you. Masterverse is a line that is so good, personally, that it has managed to convince me that I want a New Adventures He-Man and New Adventures Skeletor on my shelf. I do not like New Adventures He-Man at all. I don't like the art style. I didn't like the way Skeletor looked. That comes down to art style in general. I didn't like when they did the comic book stuff, the mini comics of it. I thought that was a very boring point in the stuff that I was reading. I don't like I didn't like the story to it, basically. I didn't care for it at all. It's not my favorite thing in the least. I didn't like it. So look, I mean, that's just the way it is. But for what it's worth, I think these are going to be Target exclusives or something like that. So go ahead and check those sites. I'm not going to do that right now. We're already exceeding the 20-minute mark, and I've talked about this. But I gave my opinions on it, and that's it, covering all the current Masterverse that's about to come out for MOTU. Holy crap. this was the biggest release of MOTU I think I have ever seen of any toy line. I've never seen it before. Oh, there's the dog. So, I don't know. This is crazy. I've never seen this before, and it's really exciting. I've never seen a release this big on any toy line that I have ever followed in my entire life. It's kind of an exciting time to be a MOTU fan. I'm really sorry if you're not a MOTU fan, because you are straight up missing out. Later on.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.